let's welcome Stephanie Bruce. Where are you? Stephanie Bruce. Breathe in. Help me.
Okay, is this working? Yeah. We all breathe every day of our lives, our whole lives long. And usually we don't think too much about it. Oh, wait, I need to click here. Because I don't see the screens. Here, okay. So we all breathe every day of our lives, our whole lives long. And usually we don't think too much about it. Imagine you'd have to think of every breath you take. That will require an enormous amount of mental capacity. No, rather, and luckily for us, breathing happens naturally, unconsciously, you could say, or autonomously. And that's because it's driven by the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system consists of two branches. One is a sympathetic branch. It's the one that accelerates us. It's the one that responds to dangers. When there's a lion in the jungle, or more recently, when there's a car that is about to hit you, when you cross the pedestrian walk and you jump away, before you can even think of the situation, you jumped already away, your heart rate is elevated, your breathing rate is elevated, and you feel this rush of adrenaline in your body. That's the sympathetic nervous system kicking in. It's also called the fight-flight-freeze modus that many people know. And often it's put in a negative daylight. And that doesn't need to be the case, because when that car is about to hit you, this system saves your life. So it's a very good system that it exists and that it's active. The problem is that in our 24/7 society today, this system is often chronically triggered. It's triggered by too much technology that's entering our lives, toxic relationships that we have, and all these other things that are causing stress. And as a consequence, we have chronically elevated heart rates, rapid breathing rates, too much adrenaline and cortisol in our bodies. And that's because this system is chronically activated. Now, the autonomic nervous system consists of a second branch, the parasympathetic nervous system. And this acts opposite as the sympathetic nervous system. It's the one that decelerates us. It's the one that calms us down, that makes us relaxed. When we activate our parasympathetic nervous system, we can address problems in a more creative way. We can come up with creative solutions. We're more creative in general. It also ensures that our digestion goes smoothly. And as a consequence, in physiology, we see that the heart rate slows down, our breathing rate slows down. So the question is, how do we balance these two systems? How do we shift between the sympathetic that we sometimes need? Like, for instance, I now am giving this presentation and I have a little bit of adrenaline in my body. That's the sympathetic nervous system, and that's good because it's keeping me sharp and focused. But when I go home tonight, I want to shift in the parasympathetic nervous system. I want to calm down, restore, relax. So how to shift between these two systems? And I know that everybody knows that we need to work out and we need to read books and go to the sauna or walk in nature. But there's another very efficient way in which we can activate our parasympathetic nervous system. And I think you know the answer already. It's breathing. I think there's a figure missing. Anyway, through our breath, we can activate the parasympathetic nervous system. When I, a couple of years ago, developed severe insomnia, I was trying to find what could help me. And when I realized that just by breathing differently, breathing slower, we can activate this system and we can calm ourselves down very effectively within minutes, I was fascinated and I wanted to learn everything about this and how did this work. So if we look at the science, we see that if you start breathing very regularly and very deep, around 6 breaths per minute, which is around a third of what we normally breathe, we activate this parasympathetic nervous system. This is what you see in the figure below. The heart rate starts to act in synchronicity with the breathing rate. Our HRV goes up, which is a marker of good health and resilience, and shows that we can resist stress and so on. And so all these benefits happen within the body within minutes, just by using our breath as a tool to calm ourselves down. Now, I found that really beautiful and something that should be taught in schools, because we don't use this tool that we all have with us, a very simple and efficient tool. Now, I knew this, and I started reading books, and I tried different apps and devices in order to practice these breathing exercises. But apparently, when I'm lying awake in my bed, wandering, my mind is wandering, I'm thinking about things. I have the attention span of a goldfish, and I can't keep my focus on these breathing exercises. Even though that I've been meditating for years, it still seems very difficult to keep your focus on these breathing exercises. And I tried these apps, but I don't like looking in an app when I'm in my bed. I start scrolling and doing other things and so on. So that's why we came up with this device, which is called Moonbird. It's a physical breath pacer. It's the device that you hold in your hand and that starts to expand and contract, giving you a pace that you need to match with your breathing. And so you don't have to think or count or focus anymore. You don't have to look at a screen. You don't like to use another device. The only thing you need to do is hold Moonbird and breathe along with it. It's very simple, natural, and intuitive, and makes it really easy to do these breathing exercises and to keep your focus. We built a heart rate sensor inside the device, so you can measure your heart rate and see the effects of the breathing exercises on your body. And you can combine it with an app to see these HRV and your heart rate curves and so on. You can listen to audio guides, set reminders, and so on. But in its essence, Moonbird is a physical breath pacer. Now, I'm not doing this alone anymore. Here is our awesome team. We're around 10 people and lots of students and interns helping us to produce the Moonbirds, because we do this locally in our office in Antwerp. And in the past 3 years that our company exists, we have developed this from idea to prototype to a device on the market. We have patented the device. We have done a bunch of research projects which we published. We saw, for instance, significant improvements when it comes to sleep quality in patients suffering from insomnia. And more importantly, we have sold and thus helped over 20,000 of devices. People that were suffering from stress, anxiety, insomnia, autism, ADHD, chronic fatigue syndrome, burnout symptoms, and so on. This is my brother, my co-founder, and my name is Stephanie. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Moonbird, and it's our mission to enable people to use their breath as a powerful tool in order to live healthier and happier lives. Thank you.
So I'd like to treat you, or I'd like to ask you to join me in a little experience, because you mentioned the number of times you should breathe in a minute. I'm not going to say how much. I was listening, but I'm not going to repeat it. My new best friend, Elizabeth, is going to give us a minute, and I'm going to ask everyone to count the amount of times we breathe. Is that good?
Absolutely.
So in and out is one.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Elizabeth, you ready? Okay, this is what I learned from my good friend, Dr. Zach Bush. First we exhale, right? Right?
And maybe it's also good to close your eyes so you can fully concentrate on counting your breaths.
What she says. Okay. So whenever you're ready, take over the show. Okay. And that's Elizabeth.
Okay, so you breathe normally. You don't have to change your breathing rate because we're just going to count the breaths. And then we're doing the exercise. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Shall I do 3, 2, 1? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go, Elizabeth. Still counting. Just say when. Just say when we're at 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I feel like asking who had more than 6. Is that a fair number? Is that a good number? You're the PhD smart.
That's low.
That's low.
Yeah. Okay, who
Ask
has
away.
a number higher than 10? Okay.
Oof. Dr. Zach, are you taking notes?
Higher than...
Higher?
15?
Whoosh.
Yeah.
Me and my dog.
That's
Yeah.
even normal.
That's
higher
good,
than
still.
20.
That is.
I did this exercise once, and there was a lady, and she had a breathing rate of 33.
Whoosh.
And she was unaware of this, which means that she was really chronically hyperventilating. And if you do this for long periods in your life, you have very detrimental effects of this.
Yeah.
And she didn't know this. So by just using your breath and checking in with how am I breathing right now? Is this higher than normal? Does this maybe mean that I'm stressed? Your breath can really tell a lot about how you feel emotionally and physically.
Right. So what would be a good score to have?
But anything in between 10 to 15 is normal for a healthy adult. Above that can maybe indicate that you're a bit stressed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do a breathing exercise, it's around six breaths per minute.
Who had 6? Nice. Who had less than 6? Ooh la la.
Wow.
Nice.
But the object is not to go as low as possible.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, okay, you win. You win.
Don't go away too far, because I might need you again. I think I might need you again. Stephanie Bruce, thank you very much.